Hey, what's going on, guys? So in this video, I've got kind of a part 2 to my last video that I did. So if you missed that video, I showed you guys how I made a Spider-Man dart gun. Basically, you shot out a dart out of your wrist, attached to a string, and would reel it back in with the press of a button. But in this video, I'm going to show you how you can make your very own Spider-Man wrist web shooter. It's not going to be the same as what I made in the previous video, but it's a whole lot easier and it's still really cool. So let's check it out. Alright, and that leaves us with this device right here. So let me walk you through how it all works. So there's really only one major thing you need for this build to get it to work, and that is 2 lighters. So basically what I did was strip the lighters completely apart, emptied out the butane, and emptied out everything else that's inside. mainly this fuel stopper right here. This is basically to limit the amount of butane that comes out of the lighter at once so you don't get a massive flame. But in this case we want a massive jet of liquid. So yeah, that has to come out. Then it was as simple as gluing the two together and putting the lighters back how they were. Basically screwed back in the nozzle and then attached the lever arm back on and attached a binder clip to the top right here to create a lever arm to kind of extend out the two push button levers that the lighters come with out to my wrist, so I'm able to trigger it just kind of like Spider-Man would with a flick of a wrist. I can shoot out webs just like that. And then of course to attach it to my wrist I used some Velcro straps, just kind of glued them on the back here so it can fit around my wrist just like this, nice and tight. And then to make it look good I added some carbon fiber tape around the outside to give it a little bit more of a professional look. And I kept the lighter flint wheels on just for aesthetic purposes. I don't know, I think it kind of looks cool. Oh yeah, and one last thing I did was to cut away a little bit of the carbon fiber vinyl and to expose some of the lighter underneath. This way I can see how much fuel is left. You can see inside to the lighter and lets you know how much ammo you got left. That is basically it for the mechanics of how this works. So that brings us to the solution to fill these with. Basically all this is soap and water. I found the more soap you add, the more foam effect you'll get with the webs. You can also add a little bit of food coloring or marker ink if you want to give the webs a little bit of color. But if you want an easy cleanup, probably no color is best. So basically all that's left to fill this up is to take a syringe, fill up the liquid, once again unscrew these nozzles right here, stick the syringe in, fill it up, put the nozzles back in, and then to give it a little bit of pressure, I actually used some butane fuel, just kind of stuck it down in there. You don't need much at all because butane is actually lighter than the solution that we put in here. So when you shoot it out, it always stays up in this top part here and always keeps expanding. So you don't actually end up shooting butane out of here, you just shoot out your solution. And as you can see, this gives a really cool kind of web foam effect. It just coats everything you're shooting at in quote-unquote webs. But once again, it's basically just soap water, so it's actually super easy cleanup. Just kind of a fun thing to play around with. However, this wouldn't be my channel if I didn't try and find a way to make this way more exciting and a lot more dangerous as well. So I was wondering what would happen if you put something flammable for the fuel inside of this. So I went and got some rubbing alcohol and grabbed one of my old devices that I made in a previous video. This is my wrist flamethrower bracelet. Some of you may remember it. Here's just a quick recap of what it looked like and what it did. Basically just a modified lighter, modified in the same way that we modified these lighters, but it shoots out butane fuel and has a plasma lighter on the front, so whenever you press this button, a spark jumps right in front of the burner, gas shoots out and ignites. But I thought it'd be really cool to fill this with liquid fuel instead and see what type of difference you could get. So I went ahead and filled this up with some rubbing alcohol and a little bit of butane just to add some pressure, and here's what I got. So as you can see guys, very cool result, very dangerous, do not try this at home. But yeah, it gives you a little bit of a different effect than just the straight butane gas. And rubbing alcohol is like relatively safe. It's not like gasoline or lighter fluid or anything like that. It burns very clean, and so yeah, that's why I chose it over something more like volatile. Alright guys, well if you did like this video, don't forget to smash that thumbs up button and click that subscribe button to be notified when I upload more projects just like these. Also, drop your ideas down in the description below if you have any cool ideas of videos and projects I could make next. Always looking to hear your feedback. So yeah, that's about all I've got for this video, guys. Take it easy, and I will catch you guys in the next video.